Cause I got at least YouTube, but I don't. So I don't forget about all that stuff. And sorry. Okay, so we are going live right now. We should be live. I'm gonna pull YouTube on my thing.
So lost without you.
Content live. Haikyuu, we live.
You said 1, 2, 3, 10. Oh.
Alright, let's do a quick count off.
Okay.
Count 1 through 10. No,
2,
1 through 10. We go in every other
4,
number.
6, 8, 10.
So I'll start with 1, then you go. Okay? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Just give me a second.
When I'm hearing it, it sounds kind of staticky.
I don't know. That's going like that. I know, that's what.
No, I don't think it's coming staticky through the Skype. But I'm hearing
You're
like,
very off on the. I mean. Because it doesn't come static. Be on. Okay. I don't know. I'm static on the thing. Mute one. Change my settings real quick. Is that better? Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Yep, I will.
are you talking right now?
Listen to the playback.
Like now I'm hearing it staticky when you're talking.
I've never had this problem before. Okay,
I know.
it's not staticky on the.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, on
That is better.
YouTube, it sounds so much better now. Right, let's do another count real quick.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 3,
2,
5,
4,
7,
6,
9.
8, 10.
Good. Oh wow,
Oh, again?
we're delayed.
Or is that the recording?
Is that annoying? It's probably gonna be staticky again.
So far, not hearing any static.
Well, I just changed my microphone thing. Let's go. Let's see if we can delay this. Yeah, I can. That's bad. I don't know why it's like that. Let's see about that real quick. Alright, so one just say we'll just count to 4 real quick. Okay. 1,
2,
3.
4.
We're actually kind of close. Just say something after me.
Something after me.
Okay. Let's try and clap on the same time. 1, 2, 3.
The video was off, but I don't know if our sound
No,
was.
that's what I'm more checking. Video is very off. And actually, when I clapped, it was off too, but that's. My sound is like super delayed compared to my video. But I'm not too worried about the video. I'm more worried about the sound. Now it's on time. Cowabunga, dude.
You ready?
I'm about ready, yeah. I'm just checking one
Neck on.
more thing. This is the boring part. It's delayed, but whatever. It's fine. You're fine. It's just my. Let's do it. We have 2 viewers. Welcome, viewers. Sorry, we're just doing a little sound check. Whoever's watching, welcome to the Anime Feast.
Welcome, welcome. Also, I think that's us watching.
Oh, is it just both of us, actually?
Yeah.
That's fine. Hey. Any numbers count? playbacks. What up? Just reliving that conversation. Cool. And I think cool. Let's start recording on both ends just in case for audio purposes.
Okay, I'll start the recording here.
Actually, let me go fill up my coffee and then turn the extra light on. Boom. Coffee is good all the time. Just need to pull up.
Is this still recording for you?
What, for the on the Skype side? Or yeah, it says Twan.
Yeah,
It says Twan is
let's
recording
go.
the call.
Okay.
Let's see. Pull up the character list real quick. There we go. That's good enough. Awesome. You ready?
Yes.
Just go move everything around real quick and then.
Me. La la la. Ee. Ho,
Oh my
ho.
god, I'm trying to remember what he says, but that's. Welcome back to the Anime
Well,
Feast.
good to be.
Welcome back to the Anime Feast. My name is Matt, and today with me we have. Or crap, no. We're gonna restart that real quick.
Welcome to the Anime Feast. As always, we got your lovely co-host, Tawan here. Or,
Yeah.
and then host Matt.
Welcome back to the Anime Feast. My name is Matt, and today we have our co-host Tawan.
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Welcome, welcome. Yep. Today Dom is out of town, so it will just be your boys Matt and Twan today.
What
And today
They'll probably find it that way anyway.
today we get to talk about something that we do discuss quite frequently on the show, but Dom has no idea about the show since he refuses to watch. Well, he doesn't refuse to watch it, but he we have both finished the series.
I think it's just a little lower on the list.
Yeah, we both.
Sorry, just saying I think it's a little bit lower on this list.
Yeah, it's just not on top of priority, even though we keep on recommending it to it. But at the same time, I am just as bad when he recommends stuff to me that it's on my list, but it
Doesn't get watched
yeah.
yet.
But today we were talking about Haikyuu, and if you are joining us on the live stream, thank you for welcome, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel Anime Feast, and then also follow us on all the other social medias.
Yes, on Twitter as The Anime Feast, on Instagram as Anime Feast, on TikTok as The Anime Feast. And I'm missing anything right
Did you
there?
get Instagram?
Yeah, it's at Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube as The Anime Feast, but if you're watching live. So just follow us on all the social medias, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live. And you know we're bringing you great content. And
And fun
don't
discussions.
forget to share us with your friends.
And friends, families, enemies, whoever, just whomever. But yeah, like.
If they like anime, send it to them. If they don't like anime, send it to them.
Yeah, but we are talking about Haikyuu and what a beautiful friggin' series it is.
It is a wonderful series. I am excited for them to finish animating the rest of it, which I think they're going to probably give us 2 more seasons if we're lucky, which will be bliss.
Hey, Bliss, I think because they ended on season 4. Season 5 has been announced, if I remember correctly. but it's still in the
I
works.
will check and
Yeah,
verify that for you.
thank you. But like, I don't know, like when the first 12 episodes are easily was it just set up chapter for to get to know the characters, like get to know the story, like get to know the basic rules of volleyball and stuff like that. And it's the first 10 episodes I skipped on my second watch through just because I knew it was just the melodrama between Suki and Hinata and uh, yeah,
Kageyama.
Kageyama. It's just high school banter, which I mean it continues throughout the whole series, but the first 10 episodes are just like, oh, how do these characters interact with each other?
Exactly.
And
Uh,
if it's your first watch through, it's interesting, but the meat and potatoes get after that first 10 episodes when they actually start go.
so I was going to say there's a lot of talk, but there's not been anything confirmed yet
Okay.
for season five's release.
And
But yeah, it's the growing of a team. They're like very individualized when they first get to the school. Hinata, because he has never been on a team
who actually know how to
of any
play.
kind with like, yeah, like a consistent team. He's like, always had to be the one to like gather the team around him. Kageyama, he's been individualized because he knows the king of the court because he's like so controlling and
Listening.
everything has to be this way. So that, yeah, he's so talented, but like he expects the dedication that he has for the game from everybody else, and he just doesn't get it. And what Suki, like my favorite character, I have like B11. He's just you find out his backstory and how he's been let down by his older brother for like being a volleyball player, someone that he looked up to all the time. So everyone just has their own story. And then you have the second years and third years, which they're good for inspiring the team and giving you laughs, like Daichi just being the captain that he is. He's like go with the flow most of the time, and then like Hinata and Kageyama usually do end up doing something to frustrate him.
So I don't know, like Suki's backstory because they did animate that part if I remember correctly, right?
They
Yeah,
did
that was like
animate
it was
that
like
part.
because we will be discussing a little bit manga stuff probably a little bit later on, but just for consistency. But that's what will happen after, and I think we'll probably give a disclosure right before we talk about like after what the anime is. But no,
Yeah,
man, Suki's backstory is so sad. His brother lied to him to his fate. Oh, but he's still so supportive. It's so good.
yeah. I mean, he like so for you guys that don't know, or we're gonna use a little bit of a spoiler, but so Suki's backstory is that he's been looking up to his older brother who is in high school, and I think Suki's in middle school or elementary school at this point, and he has been told by his brother, like, hey, I'm on the volleyball team. No, you can't play with me. Like, it's really important. So I gotta go to this game. And he's been telling him and his family that this whole time. And then Suki like sneaks to go see him play in a game. And he sees him in the stands, like cheering for his high school team. And he's like, wait, you're not playing? And like from that point on, he's just like, oh, my brother's a loser. Like
Brother loser, but
he
like
isn't actually a
the brother
volleyball
also
player.
explains like whenever they're at dinner, he explains like oh what actually happened in a game and like the little giant and everything too. Because what the little giant was the biggest. It was a myth until the current season, I
No,
believe.
no, it really happened because
But I mean,
Hinata.
I mean, it would really happen for Suki's brother, but like he explained it if he was like on the court, and then when Suki tried to go see him, because like because him and friends were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, my brother plays on teams. Like, who's your brother?" And they're like, "No, he's on the roster." And it's like, "No, he's on the roster. He told me so."
He's my brother. He
He
wouldn't
wouldn't lie.
lie to
Yeah,
me.
nobody lies just
Definitely
for
lie to you.
shits and giggles. Oh, was he so young and naive? But Suki's such because I'm still kind of curious why Suki kind of joined the team because he's not the biggest fan of volleyball.
Because Suki likes volleyball. He does. He has always liked volleyball, and his brother inspired him to like volleyball. It was just the fact that he got lied to. But Suki is also like 6'2" or 6'3", so he's super tall, and he would be great for volleyball. And it's just also funny to see him start to enjoy something because he's like always the cool, calm, and collected one. So like when he's training with the other teams, when they do like their training montage and they go to that camp, and they're like, "Oh yes, if you we gotta get you to do this," and he's like, "No, I'm gonna do this." Or I don't know. I just love him and like his disdain, but he ends up caring about it and doesn't want to show that he cares. Or like I think one time in particular, I think it was with one of the games. I think it was with the Shi Shira Torizawa game, and just Kageyama is pushing him to go faster. He's like, "Oh, who can hit a shot like that?"
I was like,
And he's like, "Oh, are you too tired? Are you too slow?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna hit that shot. Give it to me again."
because I think Yamaguchi got him back into like the rhythm of volleyball. Because at one point, I mean, I remember during the training camp, he was like just so frustrated. He's like, why does everybody care about this sport way so much and everything? It's like, yeah, this is fun. It's like I just do it though because I'm tall and I'm good at it. Like I really have no motivation. But then
Yeah,
Yamaguchi is like, dude, like we've been, it's like we've been best friends forever, and we gotta stick this through. And everybody's just trying to make you a better person, not a better person, like yes, a better person, but a better volleyball player also. Because he was invited to help do blocking drills with Bakuto, I believe, and
yeah.
but he every day he was
That
like, no,
training
I'm good,
camp it
I'm
was like
good.
Bakuto. Um, it was from it was from Nekohama too.
What was
Bro, from Nekohama and the guy from Date Tech. I think it
was Date Tech
was.
in that? I don't think Date Tech went to the that training camp.
Maybe they didn't, but I know it was definitely Kuro
Yeah,
and
and then
Bakuto,
one other person.
and they were doing blocking drills up front. But yeah, that's why I thought Date Tech because Date Tech is always the one that's known as like the Iron Wall and
Yeah, Date Tech is Iron Wall.
like one of the
Uh,
yeah. It was just that was also cool to see later on in the show. Date Tech versus Nekohama, like they're both very defensive teams, so
and they're trying to
just
get what's the setter's name? Kozume. They're trying to tire him out. He's
yeah.
like, yeah, I'm tired,
Uh,
but like I'm still gonna move around. That was
Also, Kozume is like such a great character too. Like he's just this introvert that is obsessed with video games, but is so strategic in how he plays volleyball. And he's like, "Oh, I'm tired," but he's also thinking like 10 moves ahead and how I can beat this other team, and he cares about it, but he doesn't
it's like
care about it as well.
was it like the RPG like Final Fantasy? Like he has like certain spells and stuff hidden in the back, so like the enemy thinks he like, oh, I'm about to kill him, so I'm going for a final strike. It's like, well, I'll play my trap card. You fool.
Fuck. But I don't know. I just also love the camaraderie that the different teams have with each other when they're in a training montage or a training camp. They don't let that stop. Like most of the teams, shouldn't be as cooperative with each other as they are.
It's like I think it might be two more seasons because I forgot they haven't played. What is that? The Nekama battles gonna be the next one, and they go to 3 sets, I believe, in the manga. And
Yeah,
like
that was a long game.
it's
It's always a long game with Neko.
yeah,
Like, and it's crazy that we only really see them play that practice game very, very early in the season, but they're such an integral team to the show, regardless.
they are, and it's just so weird because because I didn't know like in the like they were always close of beating or getting close to beating them, but it's like
They
I
lost
don't want
that
to spoil
practice
anything too.
match.
Like I mean, I guess it's kind of a spoiler anyway, but like
Well, this is from the first season, but they did lose that practice match.
no, they
But
lost every
and they
practice
ended
match
up,
until the tournament. Then they finally got it set on Nekamo, and that I think it was in the second set. And then they're like, oh, we can actually win against them. They've always been like 2 points close. Like they've always lost like 21-19, 21-18. Like Nekama always just had like that little extra edge above them.
yeah, uh, it's just such a good show.
It really
That's
is.
all I want to repeat. It's like it's such a good show, such a good show. But
It's like I think during a fall
I
tournament,
think
like
that
I think like it's one of the few times it's just like I just know that feeling after like the defeat, and it's just like, oh, you guys all tried so hard and like it just couldn't get there right yet. just hits a heart. It hits our heartstrings a little bit. It's like
There,
I think
it does, and you just see because they made so much improvement. But that's also something I love about sports animes is that like you never can actually expect the team to win every time, and you never get that from Karasuno. Like they really had to like you know fight their way to the top of like the high school volleyball circuit, and they literally went from garbage, like a
that's it.
garbage team, no communication, no like cooperation or teamwork, to a team that is literally rivaling like the
It's
top
just
team
so
in the
funny, like
nation.
looking back, like the beginning of the season. Like I don't know, I play volleyball too, and like all my teams, like beginning of the season, like it's like everybody's not because everybody's trying to figure each other out, but like the first time we played, like the people I play with five other people on a fours court, but it's just like trying to figure like what rotation works best for everybody, everything. What can we do best for whatever we're doing, and then by the end of the season, everybody's all clicking together. As long as everybody, they're a little shit at my old team, but like as long as everybody shows up. But that's but no, it's just by the end of the season, it's just like reflecting on like how far we've come, kind of thing. And before we, I don't know, like even my Sam, my I mean, credit, I'm in like three different leagues, so I might talk about multiple teams, but the Lake Park League I'm in, at the end of every season, at least I get everybody together and just so much how much fun I like winning is part of it, and like yes, I don't want to lose, but at the end of the day, we're here to have fun, and we're most times we're just playing for a beer bottle trophy, but that's but
I mean,
and
I feel
just
that
knowing that
like
how much we've
I
yeah,
feel like
sorry, it's just so much
oh
how
good.
much we've grown and how much we've had fun. Like yes, like we didn't win the tournament, but like it's not about the beer bottle trophy. At least I don't play for the beer bottle trophy. If we win it, cool. If we don't win it, I'm not gonna be as so upset. But it's yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel I was gonna say I feel you like I think that's like a part of the appeal of the show in general is like you're not just happy when the team wins, but like when you actually see them get improvement, especially Hinata, like because he's literally going from like being self-taught in volleyball and not really knowing how to do anything, couldn't toss, he couldn't even like really hit a spike correctly. He just literally goes in with so much trust to Kageyama that he closes his eyes when he's spiking the ball.
Yeah.
And the fact that he just grows to like, hey, I can hit returns. Hey, I can, kind of set the ball now. I can kind of serve the ball because at first he would just hit like Kageyama in the back of the head, would hit the net, like he would never even get it over the net when he's trying to serve. To like him going training camp and literally getting denied and being the ball boy. And then he's like learning and watching these other players that are more experienced and learning how to like set your feet, anticipate the ball, have your hands at the right position. And it's very elegant how it's all been done. And I just love it every episode I watch. I'm just like, gosh, the show
It should
shouldn't be
have.
this good.
No, it's like oh, what are you watching? It's like people playing volleyball. It's like how's that entertaining? It's like, it just is. And I just love like through the season too, because like
It's
eventually he does open his like I didn't know this until I watched I think a video about like the openings of Haikyuu. But like in the beginning, I mean, like does have his eyes closed, but eventually he does open
uh,
them, and then like every little part of his body is like doing better for Kageyama's like spikes and stuff like that. Like the first one, his eyes are closed. The next one, he opens his eyes, but I mean, he's just not really placing where the ball. Then he places where the ball wants to be, and then next he's actually moving towards like He's the one actually attacking the ball, not Kageyama, putting it where he needs to put it. It's just a nice little growth, and I hate about that part about my game because I can't fucking spike. Sorry, the timing's so hard. It's so hard.
it is hard. It takes coordination, and then I don't know. That's all I like said. It's like just seeing every player's improvement, and it's not just those main two like Kageyama and Hinata. Like you see
Tanaka,
Asahi
yeah,
grow, you see
Tanaka.
Tanaka.
What a character. Tanaka's sister too. Man, it's
Yeah, gosh, it's just they're all so funny, and and it's also like even not just Tanaka or who's the other third year.
Asuma,
He's one of my favorites as well.
Asumi.
No, not Asuma. Oh,
Sumawara, yeah, and the
Sumawara. Yeah.
Daichi, the captain, my captain, fuck.
No, not Sumawara. Oh,
Sugawa, the other
Sugawa.
setter, yeah, the one that got.
Yeah. Yeah, he even like for him to like say, "Hey, I'm not as good a setter as Kageyama," and like literally take a step back and like being their second string setter. That took a lot of like growth in itself too. But he's also like, one of their aces in the whole like trump cards when they need him because of his sets and just the way that he is even like even though he's not as good a setter as Kageyama, like as far as talent, he's also able to still teach Kageyama like things and timing and whatnot and how to better interpret or
Stop being
anticipate
a
your
pretty much
teammates.
stop being a dick on the court.
Yeah, he's like, you know, hey, the best set is the one that your spiker can hit or your ace can hit. So,
Oh, who's the character?
uh,
I'm looking for through teams like it's. I don't know why he just.
also
Yeah,
Oikawa,
he was the captain
he's a
for the
dick.
one
Like,
team, but he was never a regular player. But he just like set the standards, like good cleanup. Oh my god, who am I? I'm gonna find him. Here he is. Yeah, Kita on with the twin team, the Inarazuki.
oh, I love the twins. Yeah,
They're funny,
they're fun,
but
and
Kita like
it's
he's like when he was given like I don't know like he's so for
honestly,
me he's so relatable like he's like clean up and then like when he gets the number one jersey he's like yes I know I'm not on the court but like I know I set the standard and just like help everybody else out like help everything around me and then when he started crying when he get the first jersey I was like the number one is like it's like oh that's so good.
gosh, I feel like that would be you and Michael kind of, but like the Inaka. It's like they were both, and it was crazy because like one of them wasn't at the in reference to this, like they went to a Kageyama went to play for the national team or like practice with the national team for Japan for the under 18 or under 19.
I think it was under 18. Yeah, Kageyama got invited, and even like Suki got invited to the other to the first year camp, and Hinata was even look
Yeah,
good because
and
of his height.
yeah, and the Ushijima. Yeah, and but that's crazy. But also, Hinata's still very like green to the sport because there's the other short volleyball player, the one that looks like the bird. Well, they all look like birds with their
Um,
eyes and everything. But he like his hair
yeah,
literally
no,
looks like
what's
feathers.
it? Hoshi Yumi. I'm looking at that thing online. Just can't. I, what's the O with the two dots above it? Does that have a pronunciation?
I think it's Oi.
Korai. Yeah, we're butchering these names really bad, but that's Korai Hoshi Rimu. He's like the other little giant, but he was invited to the Japanese camp. That's where him and
Yeah, and he has such a grasp and just he's worlds ahead of Hinata as far as skill.
just reminds me so much of the manga. Is like just like seeing both of them, seeing Hatsuguro on the court so fast. Man, they. I was like, I know we're
Just
in
say it.
spoiler territory, but like when we find out, like when this is very much spoiler for anybody who's on the anime. Like I'm talking manga stuff. They're talking about after Nekomo battle, but when they lose and when Hinata is actually like, we find out he's been sick the entire tournament too, which makes all the freaking signs point to that too. Like, because he's always in bed earlier than usual than everybody else. Like he's longer in the bath to help his sinuses and stuff. And when he falls down and like they lose that
Yeah,
game in the spring tournament, it was just it's so hard. It's hard to watch. It's so
yeah,
heartbreaking.
it's
He's not
heartbreaking.
even on the court when they lose,
That's
and
yeah, but that's the dedication that you have to the sport, to the craft, to the the thing that you love, and that's what he really does love volleyball. And like also to just see him like I can't remember. I think it was season 2 where it happened, where he really starting to fall in love and really understand, and then he like I think it's just like the middle of the night, and he calls his coach. He's like, "Coach, I have to eat. Like, I need fuel. Like, I really need to do better." And he's like, "Okay, what do I need to do to get better?" And he's like, "Okay, you need protein. You need lots of protein. You need,
Be taller.
bananas are gonna help with your electrolyte." Yeah, honestly, you do need to be taller, but his jumps, like, also the face that everyone gets the first time they see Hinata's like quick spike
Mhm.
is always great, and
It's
they're
like,
like,
oh, we
ah,
gotta worry about that now.
they're like, oh shit, I didn't know you could play like.
What's this short kid doing here? Because
It's like those damn freaking quicks, and it's like those inhuman things that no one can actually do besides
man, Hinata
Hinata.
really want to play. I mean, he should really should be a Librera, or he should really be the
Yeah,
what
like
yeah.
Nishiyama. Also, he's a great character. Him and Tanaka together are just the best, especially like when they're trying to protect Shizuoka from like anyone else's attention.
Love him so much. I love man. It's really hard not to at least feel or relate to like any of the characters in the show. Like, because you can almost like pick any character out, and it's like, oh, I feel that character. I feel that character. Like, everybody's just so relatable.
And it's not even just, and that's something else I love about the show is like you don't just connect with Karasuno's characters, you connect with like Date Tech and like
I just love
Nekoma.
Nekma because they're like the same team. They're like a mirror of each other's teams. Like your, uh, uh, Karasuno's team and Nekma's team, they're literally mirror each other, and that's what. The ending of season 4, like when they're all just like staring down, it's like we know we played so much together, and we know we're about to go against each other, but it's like let's make this a good one. Let's make this a good fight, because I don't think
Yeah.
they explain it in the anime, but like the Nekma fight, like I'm not fight, the match, it's what that third day is called Hell Day because they have 2 matches in a row, so they do that, and then whoever wins that one, even though we kind of already spoiled it beforehand, but that's
Also, I feel like that one was like super frustrating. You're like, oh, we're gonna play one of our more difficult teammates on the day that we literally, had to play two
but
matches in a row.
it's the way it
And
is, and
but
that's
that's
what it's
the way
like.
it
It's not
is.
like one
Everyone,
team has like rest before they play them again. Every team is playing 2 matches that day. So it's like, and they're like, oh
yeah.
man,
So
they really called this holiday for real. Like, yeah, they do, but that's that's part of it.
I cannot
I
get
know.
enough of
That's
Haikyuu.
what is your one of your favorite moments in there, or like I know that's
One of my favorite
I know that's asking.
moments. I think it was when I saw like really that training sequence. Any funny moment, honestly, but like the training sequence when Hinata was, I think, just mirroring the guy and then like learning his step and then like the half step, the jump step, like just seeing Hinata like really grow and learn how to play volleyball at a high tier is just like one of the greatest moments in the show.
Because I wasn't.
Or like when he hit the ball, like he went down, hit the ball, and he literally rolled back, but the ball went flying in the air and it was still good. That was like a chef's kiss moment, and everybody was like, "What did he not to do that on purpose?"
Man, it's weird to say, but like almost like the training arcs are just as good as the tournament arcs in the show, if not
I
better. Like,
love any training arc, and like I love like seeing people get stronger, and then they just apply it in the game. But yes, I love that. How about you? What's one of
man,
your
I
favorite
know that's what
moments?
I'm like trying to think. It's like one the one moment I can't stop thinking about. This is definitely a spoiler, but it's like them and their senior year, the senior year picture in the manga, just like
Hmm.
just them like what's the name um Tamaguchi, Suki,
Just
Hinata, and Kageyama all on the court. You're just like staring, and like just like I was like, this is a result of like what happened. Like I'm not gonna spoil anything for that, but I'll tell you like just that scene. Like whenever we talk about Haikyuu, that's I don't know why that picture always pops in my mind, and I'm just like, what a fucking like really what a beautiful moment that is.
mm, yeah, that was great.
It's like
Also, I think one of the funniest, but like also heartfelt, was when Shizume, she made that banner, her and
oh when they bring out the banner for the first time in a long time.
yeah, and then like at least all the like upperclassmen, they start crying, and then like you literally just see tears like shoot out and fall from all of them. They're like, "Oh no, it's so
So
beautiful.
beautiful.
Why would
It's
she
so
do
beautiful.
this? You're too good to us."
That's there's so many iconic. I don't know. There's so many iconic moments in that series that it just makes you smile. Like at the end of the day, like even like the heartbreaking parts, it's just like makes you smile and just it's a weird reflecting show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just you get you really like become a fan of Karasuno. I think, and it just shows like from them becoming such an underdog to becoming like a top team, and by the end of the series, even in like the anime, it really becomes like apparent. Like because I've been thinking of them as like an underdog for so long, and then they get to a certain point, and you're like, you guys are no longer an underdog. Like you guys are honestly a favorite to win. Like you are have just as much right and are just as good as these other teams. So it's not like, oh, who's Katasuna? Like I think they were a team from that was like good, like 4 or 5 years
Long
ago.
time.
Like, oh, this is Karasuno now. Like you got to watch out for them. Like they're known as a high offense team. You need to be aware of it. You need to like worry about that quick. Worry about these blockers that they have up front. That ace is good. Their setter is insane.
Because
Like even like Hinata, people no longer just are like, "Hey, Hinata's short." No, they're immediately like, "Hey, watch out. He's fast. You need to be on the alert because if you're not, they're gonna score and they're gonna score a lot."
like I think it's season three when in the like to get into the spring tournament they like that final match they what she I'm definitely gonna butcher this one Shira Torizawa like like in the beginning of the season I think like they ran to their school by accident and they ran to I'm gonna butcher this again Wakatoshi
Yeah, they ran.
Wakatoshi the really big
Yes,
ace hitter and server.
yeah. Isn't he a southpaw too? Because he would just. I think that was like another thing about him. I don't think it really matters, but
It's like I know we're going to eventually talk about like matches they should like people who should lost like Kirishima should have lost his Shiro Towazawa like because what was the guy's name Tendo the red hair lanky
yeah.
like
Also,
lanky
yeah, he's a
Kong
tough.
looking guy.
Yeah, and also like even him, like he is an opponent. He looks down on Karasuno, but like just the way, like I love the art style of the show and the manga, but it did take me a while to
Also,
like
the
transition.
transition
But
is a
it's
little
just like
it takes a
seeing,
while.
but just seeing him like in his like normal habitat and just like talking down and talking shit to the other team, but like seeing them and just trying to devise a plan to like take them down because he sees them as like strong opponents at the same time.
I was like,
Also, like when they're talking shit on the court, it's just hilarious.
it's like I don't know like it's just so weird like even the show when they like just show the replay, like people just playing volleyball, it's like, oh yeah, like, cool, they're just playing volleyball. Like there's not that intensity, but then when you're on the court and like both sides and they're like doing like their inner montage kind of thing, it's like oh this is almost like life or death kind of thing. It's like oh we got to win this game, but like the intensity on the court versus like watching the game, it's I don't know, it's just so two different ways.
Yeah. And then also seeing like the even the crowd like improvement for their team because like no one used to come to their volleyball games when they first started out. And then you see that Tanaka's sister helps and brings other people to the games and you see like these upperclassmen and like, people that, in their 20s or whatever that had their own jobs are like, wait, I have to go support Katasuno because they're like, and then like one of the fans, he actually teaches what's his name from Karasuno? Yamaguchi, how to do his like float serve.
I love it. I know how to float serve. I usually
But
don't.
yeah,
I
this is
usually don't like serve. I think my big. Sorry, I'm going to talk about my volleyball game.
you're fine.
My my best part of my I think my best part of my game is my serve, just because I can almost put it anywhere I want, and also I can hit it like almost like a line drive at people. So it's just almost like you're not gonna avoid it. Like it's gonna hit you somewhere, and I like to aim like towards the person's chest because they don't know whether to either go up with their hands or to like go down to bump it. So it's like at that awkward moment, it's like, and then it's coming fast at you, so you don't know what you're gonna do. It's like make a
I
quick
like
decision,
that.
quick.
But yeah, like just ev seeing everyone's just adherence and like how they get behind Karasuno as the show goes on is just so great. Like even the little giant, he ends up becoming like a more regular character in the fans, and you see him talking like of the game and like, hey, I stopped because of this, but like he's actually gonna go far because he has a bigger drive for it. But also like the way they dissect the game and actually like I don't honestly I don't play for volleyball, but they help you understand it as they're playing, and you learn more about techniques, terminology, things like that. So it's just a great experience learning and growing with the team.
And I know a bunch of people who play sand volleyball that they're like, oh, I started getting into volleyball because of the show. So I want to learn how
Mm.
they like what they're actually doing, and it's weird because not weird. It's nice. It's awesome. I can't express enough to play more volleyball for anybody who's actually interested. It looks like an intimidating sport to get into. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Just go play. It's like you can only grow. You can't ever not. And it's
You will only get better.
yeah,
Like,
and it's so much fun. I mean, the entry level is so weird because like entry is like so hard, but like once you get into it, it's an easy sport to learn, but it's a hard sport to master. And like I don't know, I've been playing almost now for 2 years. I used to play back way back in like 10 years ago, but then I finally got back into it again, and it's just so much fun.
hmm, I'm gonna get back in. I'll have to get into it, Matt. You're gonna have to bring me
we
to
I
one of
can
your days.
I can bring you in, and it's just so much fun. I can't wait.
But this will be a little bit of a manga spoiler. So if you are not reading the manga or you just watch the anime, feel free to skip forward probably about 10 minutes. But I did want to talk about the fact that they do play beach volleyball.
Yep.
Um, so later in the show, Hinata ends up going to Brazil and playing beach volleyball there after he has played with the school. And just seeing him improve, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna like also the drive to just say, hey, I'm gonna go to Brazil from Japan and just go and live there for what? He lived there for a year or 2 years,
I think year
something like.
because it was after high school. Because then he moved. He went to Brazil because they have a humongous beach volleyball scene. I think
Mm,
he was there for a year because the first he might have been there for 2 years because
yeah,
he
but
was
he went. He
yeah.
Yeah, he asked one of like the coaches or something, like, what should I do? He's like, go to Brazil. Like, if you really want to learn how to play volleyball, go to Brazil. And because you're not on a team of six, and like just learning, like just him, also we get to see him learn something else, like him learning how to play volleyball on the beach. He's like, hey, I don't get as much push when I'm on the sand. Like it really takes a lot of your power away. So you have to like stomp when you take off, or the fact that there's only two of you, so you
You
only have each other to depend on. So
you get a
you
lot more
have to be
touches.
more athletic. Yeah, you have to be a lot more athletic. You don't have time to just like, hey, like you and your opponent literally are all you have. So
No, that's and they go into like terminology of sand volleyball, and that's what I typically play. I haven't played indoor because of COVID reasons, more or less. And then, but sand is so much different than indoor. Because I started indoor at playing indoor first, and then went to sand. But just like it's just weird because yes, you don't have that grip on the floor right away, and and I've been starting to play more twos. I usually play six or fours for sand, but now I'm trying to get into twos because you do touch the ball so much more in twos because there ain't nobody else there to help you. There literally
it's like,
isn't.
hey, after one person hits it, it's got to be
You gotta
you.
be
There
there.
ain't no.
It's like you gotta be there and you gotta and that means it's just more opportunity for you to hit the ball and like work on whatever you need to. But it is very exhausting though. That's
Yeah, but what was it? How Michael described? He's like the best way to play twos is play
yeah,
twos.
best way to. Uh, like the only way to get used to twos is by playing twos. That's literally the only way. Like yeah, you can play fours, but it's like, but if you want to play twos, the way you do it, play more twos.
But yeah. Also, he ended up meeting Oikawa there, and they played for a while.
Because
And then just him like getting better with like even an opponent, and he was like, I don't want to help you, and then he ends up helping him.
that's what's so nice about this sport because even like they really do a good way of like putting us like because everybody wants to get better like in the sport like when you play like it's like oh what can I improve on it's like oh try this do this because I know I was recording a little bit with some friends because they used to run and like before they got to the ball they had like their arms out and then they just started running towards the ball. It's like you know you're like dragging yourself behind because you have your arms out
Losing.
before you actually get there. It's better to like run to the spot, put your arms out then, and then go back to where you are. Because if you're just running with your arms out, you're just slowing yourself down because you have a barrier in your way. But it's really hard to
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
somebody
I
stop
think
doing
that's
that
cool.
until like in
Until it, yeah, people are interesting. People don't
no,
really
no,
criticism
they
sometimes. So I
appreciate
could see
the
that being
criticism.
frustrating.
It's just something hard because like it does make sense because you want to be ready to hit the ball, so you have your arms out, and then you want to go where the ball is hitting, so you run to that spot, but you have your arms out, and it's like you're just like I don't know, you're like doing like a little waddle, and I do it waddle, yeah.
Waddle, waddle,
It's like
waddle.
I also do it. I do it. I'm not. I also do it too, but I am like I said, like everything you do, like you're trying.
You're
Everything you're
better at
trying to do is like
recognizing
you're
it.
just trying to better yourself in the game. Yeah, when he comes in the Brazil, that was so weird because was he on an international? He was on like the Japan international team. He was on. Was he doing
I think
professional?
he was with a European team, I think. Yeah, he was playing professionally, but it was another international thing. I think he was playing with France or
Because he
Germany
was
or
originally
something like
from
that.
France or Germany, and then he moved to Japan. Went to the high school.
Yes, I think he was like half French or something like that. Let's see.
But he was on the professional team with Hinata at the end of it, wasn't he? Or was he with Kageyama?
Yeah, this was like his like interim thing because he was a year older than them
Okawa.
as well. So yeah, because Oikawa, yeah, they he ends up playing with them like because still talking about manga, but they all end up. Actually, I feel like we should save that
For
for a
which one?
later episode. We'll talk about that one day. The
Ah, yeah.
final match. That's just like a whole thing in itself. Also, I would like to revisit and read it before I
Mm.
talk about it.
It's like I do remember the final chapter and I just hate endings. That's my big thing. It's like I need a perfect ending and it just they kind of he just
There is no
I
perfect
know.
ending because you just want more of it. Like I could still, like I would honestly still watch and follow it if they kept going along with the story and like how they were doing through their professional career. Like if it wanted to follow Hinata all the way through his professional career, I would
It's like
still read it.
man, I know they talk about in the manga, but it's like when like the other tournaments that we don't get to see, and like I said, like that final panel, like them their senior year, and they're all just like how far they make it into the tournament, and it's just so good. What is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil anything as far as that is
Okawa,
concerned,
he's from
but
Argentina, so he's like right there next beside Brazil.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Um,
Anything more
that's
to
what I'm trying to think.
say?
It's like who's your? I know who you already said who your favorite character is. I'm trying to think of mine.
That's my favorite character on Katasuno, and but I love all
I
of
know
them.
everybody has like their.
Like Suwagara, like anytime like he's like nefarious, even though he's like the calm, cool, collected one of the 30 years.
So,
Like Nishiyama, he's like got so much energy, and the fact that he's like a top tier player as well. Like he Like it was surprising that he didn't go to the like All-Star Japan team practice and everything, like uh with Kageyama. Like that was surprising to them because he's that good of a libero.
Oh, and, I mean he's good. I think there's better libreros on the series,
No,
but no, he
I mean they said that he was like a top, like one of the best in the country, but he couldn't play because of something. I can't remember why, but in season one they said he was like suspended.
I'll look that up real quick. I don't remember. I know he's like one of the better ones in the country, but like I think it's just his readability, if I remember correctly. Like yes, he's like he reads really great on the court, but like of like all the characters and like what they expect for Burrows kind of thing, I just remember.
Also, it's crazy that they are literally like a year younger than us, at least for the show. Like, because he was born in '95, and then like the third years were born in '93. So it's awesome that if we were in high school with them, we would have been on the same team.
No, let's go with Nationals. I don't see anything about him in like for the national team.
Um, no, I was saying that he didn't play for the national team, but I was saying like he was good enough, and people were surprised that he wasn't playing for them. Yeah, he serves as the libero for the school's volleyball team and is referred to by his teammates as Karasuno's guardian deity for his remarkable skills. After high school, Nishino retired from volleyball in favor of traveling the
Yeah, no,
world.
because like he was one of the few characters at the end of the series that didn't go to like the professional game when
Yeah, they're
they're playing
playing
as man, I can't remember the it's black something. I can't remember the Black Jackals
Jackals.
and the other team. I can't remember the team names because they're it's very quick. But I don't know. I think my favorite character is probably Kenma. Just introvertedness, yeah.
Kemba, and playing video games and equating like literally a volleyball match to wizards
Yeah,
and
no, it's like those Final Fantasy
one of his video
characters.
games.
Man, that and I think he's probably my favorite character in the whole series. Like I can see how some other people are, but I don't know. I guess I can relate to him a lot more since I enjoy video games. I think like I overthink like strategy and try to think like of the best like logical outcome instead of just playing the freaking game. Just play the game and enjoy yourself, and not don't think overthink anything. But that's not how my brain works.
Yeah, I feel you. Also, I like Kuro. Kuro's like fun, cool, and just he's very persuasive and just funny when he can get other people into his like
Yeah.
schemes. like uh like Kidma, for instance, just getting Kidma to play volleyball
So you'll
or
enjoy this.
getting
Just like you gotta be active. You just can't sit in your room all day. It's like, yeah, no.
no,
Yeah,
yeah, I
Ken. Like
can.
nobody
But
cares if I
also
do this. And it's like, no, people do. Oh man, he's Carissa. He's such a sweetheart.
I know. But he's got his own nefarious plans too. Like he's not always sweet. But I think that concludes it for
I
me.
think so. Or let's, because we talked about our favorite moment, or I think we might have did early. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I think I said just seeing Hinata hit the
Oh yeah.
ball and just like when he was mirroring, and then also when he hit the ball, like when he returned the serve and it hit his face, so people didn't know whether or not he did it on
Mm-hmm.
purpose or not.
Yeah, because I said mine's actually in the manga. I really can't wait to see that part animated and just then.
Oh, he's
It's
so
so good.
good.
I can't wait for season 5 to come out. If season 5 is, I don't know whether they're gonna. I really don't know if they're gonna make the Nakamo fight into one season and the last two.
I think they're gonna make it
like
into
there's like really three big
the Nekoma. That would be one season or at least half of the
because
season.
like there's like three major arcs still left. There's the Nekima fight. There's the match after that. Spoiler. Sorry, I should have warned about the spoiler, but whatever. There's another match after that, and then it's the Brazil national. At least that's what I remember on top of my head, and for the manga wise.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think we talked about
Uh,
like
so much
I
to
know,
look
yeah.
forward to.
It's guys. We cannot recommend this series enough.
I can't. Yeah, I can't hype it up enough. Like it. If you haven't watched the show, go watch it, please, because you're gonna fall in love with it, even if you're not in the sports. It's just
It's
that good.
Tom, if you're listening, go watch Haikyuu. Cause I don't know, like it's more real. I think it's more realistic than like Kiriko no Basket. Just like
Yeah, because no one like in Kuroko Basket, like those people literally have like a superhuman ability, which is like, hey, they make 3-point shots that they just never miss. It's like, okay, like that can be a thing, but people still miss. But yeah, it's not like an inhuman ability. People are just that good, and that's literally how I feel like it's more realistic because there are just people that are that good at a sport. It's like they still have mistakes. Like Oikawa, like he has a ridiculous serve, but he still hits the net
and I
sometimes.
was gonna say I play with a bunch of people and they're like, oh, I love them on my team, but at the end of it, it's like oh, they're really good, but they like yes, they do lose a match. Like everybody still loses in volleyball. Like
Everyone
everyone,
loses like
yeah,
from time to time, and everyone makes mistakes. Like, and it shows that, and it shows like you never expect like a team to just shut out in
no,
volleyball. Like in Kuroko Basket, those teams would literally shut each other out. Like, hey, there's no one that comes close to beating this team, or even scores any points, or barely any points. But like, hey, these games will be like maybe a what is it end on 21 or
21.
25,
It's
and like they'll end at like 15-21 or something against the best team, and it's just like, okay, that's more realistic because they're going to get scored on too.
it's just every part of volleyball is just a fun aspect of the game because like the serves are very important. Like returning the ball is important. Like setting the ball is important. Like everything. Every part's
Every
important. Like,
part
oh
is
yeah,
important
hitting it
here.
on the other side, but you gotta hit in the right spot where the holes are. And it's like when you're playing like in air sixes, there's very little holes. But you also want to know where you're trying to hit to. You're not trying to hit to the good player because you know the good player's your returner. You're trying to hit to the weak player, but then there's really no weak player on the team. It's
Yeah, like it's a constantly changing sport as well, even within the same game, just because the rotations change, so your strategy has to change. You can't keep using the same thing, like the same strategy for the entire game, because where a player is will determine what players you're going to have in front, what kind of strategy you're going to use. Are you going to try and bump it? Are you going to try and spike it? Are you going to try
send
and get
over
over the
on
wall? You
one,
lob?
hit over on two. There's the game's so beautiful. And then I was gonna say that in the manga where like when they do the rotations, they have like little faces everybody where they are. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Such a good show. Just can't say enough.
Awesome. And I think that will wrap everything up, guys. I am. If you enjoyed everything, let us know in the comments anything that we missed out or any of your favorite parts, either in the anime or the manga. Make sure, once again, like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube if you're watching it. Then,
Also on all
yep, and
social
all
media.
yep,
And as always,
follow us on everything. Just doesn't take any time. Just hit the subscribe button, follow. We just like to see the numbers go up.
yeah, like to bring you great content. Talk to us. We'd love to converse, not just with each other, but with you guys as well. And as always, stay hungry, my
Peace.
friends.
Peace.
Peace.
Stop recording.
Wait, why is it? Yeah, I'm saying 13 minutes for recording, so I hope that recorded. Like,
Oh shit! No, yeah. Well, I have the recording for the. I can drop. Yeah, I can
okay,
always drop it. I can do the. I. That's why we record on both ends. just in case. Because I think one the one
Yeah.
talk that we did two of, we didn't. It says you're still recording the call. Let's go to chat real quick. Yeah, it stopped in the middle somewhere, so I'll drop the. Or I might
Okay,
also
cool.
just edit myself for.
Like, also didn't let me stop the recording, so I don't know what's going on there.
Here we go. Old call. It will not. Why doesn't it?
Go take
Why
a
doesn't it
shot.
say stop recording? Whatever. I'll just.
I don't know why it's